in Calvert County, and so we made the 3-hour trip to you. Thank you for accepting us. And we do own property in Cambridge. We will be moving to Cambridge at some point. If I'm learning the terminology correctly, I think a new resident of Cambridge qualifies me to be a chicken necker. Is that right? Just terms I've heard. I'm going to try to blend in with everybody. But as Bill gave me this opportunity for 5 minutes, I thought, how can I best use 5 minutes to tell you just a little bit about me, our business, and I'm going to take 5 minutes, just very briefly, to talk about trust, because I know trust can be developed or eroded pretty quickly within 5 minutes. And but let me ask you first off, and it's very relevant to what I want to talk about. How many of you are, or have been, or have relatives who are, or have served in the military? Well, that's a large percentage, very large. Thank you all for having served, or for your relatives who are serving. The reason I ask you that is because I was maybe 5, 6 years old when I was at Andrews, what was then known as Andrews Air Force Base, now known as Joint Base Andrews, where I saw an air show. It was the Air Force Thunderbirds, and I thought at the time, that's what I want to do. And I kept it a secret because it's a long story about me and my life. I didn't want anyone to believe I could not do what I wanted to do. It was my vision. And I'm going to talk about purpose, vision, and goals as relates to our businesses. But that was my vision. I wanted to do I wanted to fly a fighter airplane. I became somewhat obsessed, focused, whatever the term is you may want to talk about. And so I'm going to relay with you a mission. And I served in Vietnam for 18 months. A mission on May 16, 1972. It was a mission that we were going to defend against a high priority target that was 9th Air Force Commander initiated. We had spent several days planning for this mission. All of you right here are very representative. You replicate the team that was helping support us. Intelligence, maintenance, weather, the squadron support, life support, the whole spectrum. But you all replicate that group, and we all had to be synchronized to work together to ensure the success of this mission, which was to bomb, hopefully it's not an offensive term to you, this very high priority target, which was heavily defended. And so for several days we were planning this mission. On the day of the mission, May 16th, my flight, and I planned this very carefully, having relied on intelligence, and then intelligence was not as good as it is now, but we had to know where the target is. We had to know as much as we could know about how the target was defended, because we knew we would be entering into enemy territory. The planning was done, and we in the aircraft were ready to go. We were as confident as we can be. All of you were formed out on the flight line as we taxied out, and as we taxied out, I'm going to replicate what it was. Thumbs up. That is our way of saying to you, thank you for being a part of the team, because I'm in the jet, the front seat, and quite honestly, I'm depending on every one of you, the maintainers of the system, the hundreds of systems. I'm dependent on you, the intelligence community, to tell me exactly what I can expect. It's up to me and my decision in the aircraft to do and process everything that I have gained from you. As we approach the target at about 525 knots, we're maybe 1,000 feet above the ground. We knew there was going to be heavy defenses, but I did not know exactly what to expect. What I did see was anti-aircraft fire, AAA we call it, coming from all directions, left, right, and passing seaming within feet of me, and I don't know. Best way I can describe it to you, try to picture you driving your vehicle down the street and fireworks are being fired right at ground level, both left and right of the highway, and the fireworks are exploding in front of you. You know you can't turn left or right. You have no reason to believe turning left or right is going to keep you away from those fireworks. That's exactly the way I was in that situation. I can only tell you that because of someone much, much greater than me, I did not get hit. None of the AAA, which was explosive, about 1 every 7 rounds, was a tracer, so you can see exactly how close the bullets are. We got the ordnance on the target, and I'm very grateful there was an overcast above us, which we flew into the overcast, there were 2 of us, and that kept the gunners from on the ground being able to see us. And so I am just very grateful that we got out of the target area. Neither one of us were hit. We flew back home, about a 45-minute flight, and as I am approaching Udorn Royal Thai Air Force Base, I signal to the tower that Olympia is my call sign, and as I'm about to land, I used the call sign. I checked in with the radio tower, and I said, Olympia 1, base, gear down, full stop. The tower controller came back and said, Roger, Olympia 1, the winds are 120 to 150 at 7 knots, clear to land, runway 7, welcome home. I'm sorry, I'm reliving. I'm reliving the moment as if it was just last week when it occurred. But here's where I'm going with this. The team, as we taxied out, the team, as was radioed from the tower, the team, as we taxied back, we high-fived. We did it. The team that was along when they saw us taxi out, knew that heavily defended area. I'm not trying to be over dramatic about it. It was a heavily defended area, and we may or may not return. But I had the confidence that yes, we will, because I believed in every one of you. We knew what we were going to do. We knew we had the confidence we were going to get out of the target area, and we were going to do everything that we were assigned to do. Let me leave you with this, and I hope I can leave you with something that would warrant each of us exchanging business cards, because I'd like to explain a little bit more about some of the things that we have done in the military that directly apply to you. But purpose, vision, and goals. How important is it that when the question is asked, who and what matters, always, who and what matters about what we're doing? And the answer is everything and everyone. It's very important that we as leaders